Evening, everybody. This is Cole. I'm a John Deere Tech student at Walla Walla Community College. This evening I'll be giving you a tour of my U.S. General 44-inch toolbox, side box, and Craftsman top box. Just on the side over here, just got some cleaners and sprays and stuff, and magnet trays everywhere. Up top is my sockets. Got standard chromes, 1/2 inch, 3/8 quarter, standard metric, longer extensions over here, shorter extensions and adapters in there. My impact sockets, they're Harbor Freight. I haven't split one yet, actually. Just curious to see how long they hold up. Got some Torx and Allen Craftsman sockets in there. Got some eTorx sockets. Some Deere stuff does have that. I'll just got a F80 right, or an F80 snap-on 3/8 ratchet right here. 1/4-inch drive, John Deere. I actually really like this ratchet. It's not bad. It's pretty fine. Do a lot of 1/4-inch work. I do a lot of CP and lawnmowers and gators and stuff. Snap-on 1/2 inch, pretty coarse. Carlisle 3/8 stubby. Really like this ratchet. This thing's sweet. Bit driver, Craftsman bit driver. An old proto ratchet, one of the good old ones. Still use that every now and again. Carlisle 1/4-inch roto. This is the first 1/4-inch ratchet I bought other than a Craftsman. It was to replace the Craftsman. Really like this thing. This is one of those weird Harbor Freight ratchets that's 1/4 and 3/8 I bought off a buddy who was getting out of tech school for like $3 or something. So this is a 1/4-inch driver and a Stanley extendable locking flex head ratchet. I wouldn't really recommend getting this thing. The lock doesn't work most of the time, and it'll slip, and then when it slips you bust your knuckles on whatever you've been working on. So going down, just got some decals for the dealership, my infrared thermometer and AC thermometer, and some cheat sheets for air conditioning. Here I got some punches, chisels, my brass drifts, some roll pin punches, some extractors, drill bits and extractors. This is just kind of a junk drawer. It's got everything from, this is to help put wheels on gators. It's kind of a pain because they don't have studs, they have wheel bolts. Just miscellaneous stuff, colored wires for marking hydraulic lines, markers, tape measure, obviously, paint markers and such. This drawer, just batteries, my flashlight boxes, couple spare flashlights. This has most of my loose Allens and just standard Allen key sets. These are Bondus. I bought these at Spokane Ag Expo. They're pretty good. I like them. I haven't twisted or broken one yet. This is just stuff I have for service and lawnmowers mainly. Forma funnel. If you don't have one, I'd recommend getting one. They're great. They're just a sheet of plastic coated lead. You can make a funnel in any shape you need. Strap wrench, just regular oil filter wrench, and a pair of Harbor Freight oil filter pliers. Oh, and a brake and drum spring tool down there. This is just measuring and feeler gauges and stuff like that. Got a mic, or not a mic, storm calipers, Mitutoyo 1-inch micrometer, some straight edges and squares here, and feeler gauges and that kind of thing. If you notice a lot of red paint, those rocking, my initials and such, because at the tech school they want you to mark everything. So I'll give away right now that there's you'll see I got wrenches up in both boxes. I've got standard and metric wrenches here, and then standard and metric wrenches in these drawers. The reason for that is this top box, as the new guy, I get moved from dealership to dealership kind of to help out where they need it. And so this top box is kind of made so I can just set it on the back of a truck and go. So that's why there's 2 sets of wrenches. Anyway, but these are standard, go up there, the standard Craftsman set, flat panel. They're not made in the USA, but I really like them. I've got some Craftsman ratcheting wrenches and some Harbor Freight stubbies back there. Same here, Harbor Freight stubbies back there, Craftsman ratchets here, Craftsman flat panels here. This metric goes up to like 22. These are my pliers. These drawers in this top box get a little cramped, but I'm working on a Snap-on box one of these days, student discount and all that. So I've got some Craftsman hose pinch pliers in the back there, some tin snips, some snap ring pliers there, big channel locks. You'd be surprised how often those come in handy. Some sorted vice grips, my Snap-on pliers set. I don't regret for a minute buying this. I'd recommend this set to anybody. Side cutters, needle nose, and slip joints. These are just some ATD long needle nose pliers. They got various bent heads on them and stuff. They flex, you know, you can just make them flex, but most of the time you're not reefing on these long needle nose anyway. Piranha hose cutter pliers. These are pretty good. I like these. Kiwi pliers. These are just they're not the Mac kind. I know Mac rebrands these. Mac rebrands these and calls them their own, but these are just the straight up Kiwi pliers. I really like them. I know some people give them some flack, but I like them. I find a lot of uses for them. Hose clamps and such. John Deere snips, because I work at a John Deere dealer, in case you couldn't tell. Just these little 45-degree needle nose pliers. I got those forever ago, and I just keep them around for some reason. They come in handy every now and again. Little slip joints, battery terminal spreader pliers, the Evil crescent wrench. I'm kidding, I use that every now and again. Channel locks, they're Vice Grip and Channel Lock brand, and these I actually found in the center line. I believe most of the time these are used for taking the screw-on battery terminals off. Anyway, they're Blue Point, and I just found them laying in the road going to work one day. It's pretty cool. These are automatic wire strippers, crimpers and crimper cutters, wire strippers, just generic pliers, generic brand of slip joint pliers I've had forever. So yeah, there's the pliers. This is screwdrivers, picks, and nut drivers. Flatheads over here. These are all Milwaukee screwdrivers. The dealership I work at, we're part of a co-op, so there's a hardware store, and we get good deals on tools up there. So these came up for $1 nothing, and I bought them. Used to have these Craftsman ones. I like these a lot better. Snap-on screwdriver, flathead. This is old SK. Craftsman nut driver set. Use this all the time. Radiator hoses, pipe clamps on radiator hoses and such. Snap-on pick set. Again, this is one I'd recommend to anybody. I had a Craftsman set when I first started, and first thing that happened is the pick came out of the handle. So I just made the investment and bought some good ones, and haven't regretted it since. My few Torx screwdrivers, bit driver. These are back here, just some various screwdrivers that I've ground and bent for various purposes. Phillips screwdrivers, homemade pick that actually works really good for radiator hoses. It's made out of an awl. More radiator hose picks. Those are from Harbor Freight. This drawer, I've got butane for my pencil torch, propane torch. I've got a speed handle here, an old speed handle, a Craftsman 1/2-inch torque wrench that I started out with that I just basically use for torquing lug nuts now. Snap-on click type torque wrench. I'm sure you all have seen those at one time or another. That's just the 50 to 250 twist style click torque wrench. My cheater pipe, I know in some places that's a big no-no, but they're fine with us using them around here. Gear wrench, 80 tooth flex head ratchet. This, I can't say enough good about this. I've stuck that cheater pipe on there, on this ratchet, quite a few times, and I've never had a single problem with it. Good fine head on it. I love it. This is a Pittsburgh Harbor Freight breaker bar. It's amazing how much one of those will bend when you're doing head studs. In class we were doing head studs, and I thought it was going to break for sure. This is just a no-name 3/8, a long 3/8 ratchet. I got it mainly to use as a breaker bar. This right here is actually a Can-Am tool, because my John Deere dealership also used to be a Bombardier dealership, which makes Can-Am and Ski-Doo and Sea-Doo and all that stuff. But this is a spring puller tool, and it's for lawnmowers. It's handy beyond words. First drawer in the top box. Okay, so this is one of those drawers that's constantly going through different variations, and it's tight, as you can see. So I got straps for lifting, more straps for lifting. Got my drill bits right here. Got gloves, welding gloves, and a saw cap. My 3/4 drive set. It's basically no-name China. A tech in the shop gave it to me when he bought a nicer set. So free's always a good price. These are my Lang snap ring pliers. I bought the Lang set because I figured out, figured out that they make, I believe it's SK's snap ring pliers, and I needed these bigger sizes and didn't want to pay all that Snap-on wanted right away. So I haven't had a problem with these. Everybody keeps telling me the smaller ones are going to bend, but they haven't yet. And I do quite a bit of work on little tractors like that, and so there's a lot of those little snap rings on there. I bought these off Amazon. These are, I think they're called Nico. These are triple squares, and Torx. Just bought these, that's why they're so shiny. Black Lightning, black gloves. These things are great. And some random 8-point sockets, good for drain plugs. Oops. Let's take those out. Again, these are standard wrenches. Same deal, Craftsman's flat panel. In this one, I've got some Harbor Freight crow's feet, and a set of Mac double box end wrenches, some Craftsman mini wrenches, John Deere starter wrench, just some various odds and ends wrenches that I picked up along the way, whether it's they've been in equipment or just, you know, you go into a pawn shop and you see a wrench and think you ought to buy it. Tekton line wrenches back there. Let's see. My other metric set. This right here, I can't recommend this set enough. This is Gear Wrench's metric set. It's a 10-piece metric set, and it goes from 10 to 19, and they are angle reversible box end wrench, or angle reversible ratchet wrenches, and these are great. If you need just some wrenches to pick up and go to a job for just a minute, I just grabbed that bundle right there, and they're great. It's good stuff. So, more Pittsburgh crow's feet, odd Carlisle 19mm. So in this drawer I keep my bigger wrenches. I've got a set of Tekton hydraulic wrenches in here. More Tekton wrenches. These are their jumbo metric set. They go from, I believe, 27 to 35. I got an 1.25 inch in there. That's Pittsburgh service wrench set. I don't use it very often, but there are the occasions where you need to get into a tight spot, and they come in fairly handy. It's just junk drawer. Got spare safety glasses and some ouch tape and stuff, and if you can't tell, I'm a roadkill fan. This is my prying, beating, seal pulling drawer, I guess. Lots of these old John Deere Jimmy bars, seal puller, some Napa pry bars, drum brake tool, some Tecton lady slippers. If I had to do it over again, I would not buy the Tecton ones. The heads I've had to grind on. Maybe it'll focus. Anyway, had to grind on the heads quite a bit to make them to where they'd pull a bearing, or pull a seal, whatever you're doing with them. So I just go ahead and spend the money and buy Snap-on. And I just got some odds and ends, bolts and stuff to use as big punches. Down here, bottom drawer, I've got most of my box stuff. I've got some gear wrench, stud removal tools. I've got a Lang gasket punch set. Harbor Freight 100 bit security bit set. Pretty much got every bit known to man in there. O'Reilly's impact driver. Don't use that very often. An eye gauging 3 to 4 inch mic. Just an old school impact driver that one of the retiring tech or older techs gave me. Got a Grizzly dial indicator here. Surprising once I bought it how much I used it, or I guess how much I didn't have to borrow somebody else's. So I guess it just goes with saying, you know, you borrow it twice, you buy it. So this is my Storm, which is Napa's precision deal. Storm 1 to 3 inch mic set. And we'll get these put back in here real quick. This right here is the Harbor Freight seal and bearing race driver set. Even though it lacks quite a few sizes, I use this thing all the time. May not look like it because I mainly use it for driving seals, and that doesn't do too much damage to these. They are aluminum, so you will scratch them up and gull the edges if you're doing all bearing races or something like that. That's just a odds and ends deal of electrical connectors, just my spare spade connectors and such. This drawer has all my epoxies, glues, anti-seize, Loctite, gasket maker, silicone, and an aerosol can. That's a pretty handy invention right there. More punches. This is my Tecton punch set. You know, they're punches. You're going to destroy them whatever you do, so just went ahead and bought some cheap ones, and they've done pretty good. I don't feel bad about grinding them up if I need to. And just a staple gun for doing, if you need it to tack a headliner up real quick. Emery cloth, files, wire brush, some gasket scrapers from Harbor Freight, some bore brushes, spare parts, shims and hydraulic fittings, and some gaskets and O-rings. Plugs, my AC and fuel quick disconnect, some syringes, coolant tester, old school flashlight I found in a tractor. It got traded in. This drawer, has spare tools in the bottom, just bags of spare sockets and such. 100-foot tape measure, an extra speed handle down there, Milwaukee drill, DeWalt 4-inch grinder, and a Bosch timing light. Don't use that much. This is my side box. Top drawer's empty. Next drawer I just have my zip ties. This is got my Fluke 88 multimeter. This is a X-Tech 2000 amp clamp, fuses for the multimeter, and just various leads and jumper wires for the multimeter. This is my power probe butane soldering kit. This thing, I have a friend in school who bought the Snap-on one for, I don't remember, a ridiculous amount of money, and this was only like $40. So I think I'm less than half his price. So great little tool. You can do shrink wrap with it, soldering. Yeah, good tool. Spark tester, clamps. That's a borescope you can plug into your cell phone. Got oil under the lens, so it's no good now. Solder, fuses, and just some spare button connectors. This is pretty much my air and abrasives drawer. Die grinder, angle grinder, heads for my little air hammer. Lots of cookies. Don't eat those. Wire wheels for the die grinder, wheels for the 4-inch grinder. This is pretty much the rest of my air tools. This is impact, an iron ton impact adapter set. As you can see, I've already broken the 3/4 to half. Imagine that. When I went to Napa, bought a replacement for it. It does not fit, so it lives up there. Otherwise, they've done pretty good. My old tired Matco 3/8 impact. It'll get replaced one of these days when it finally gives out. Tire filler tool, and Ingersoll 231C, old school. It's basically a tire shop gun. I like it. I just recently, or just last night, ordered a Nitro Cat. So I'm real anxious to see how that works. So probably keep that guy around, but just for the home shop. Air hammer, just various blow nozzles and such. It's my hammer drawer. Kind of got a thing for hammers. If I see one they're kind of things I pick up at pawn shops and thrift shops and that kind of thing. Anyway, Harbor Freight dead blows, a Napa like a 2-pound hammer that I picked up at a pawn shop, Harbor Freight brass hammer. If you're going to destroy it anyway, why not just buy the Harbor Freight one? Ball peen hammer. There's pipe wrench, 2 pipe wrenches, some ball peens down there, sledge, large crescent wrench, rubber mallet. If there's anything in here you want to see more of, just give me a holler. So yeah, there it is. Got my parts organized, or my parts tray and magnet trays. I built this rack on the back to hold my welding helmet and my creeper and my grease gun and 3-foot Harbor Freight pry bar. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.